Hey, thanks for tuning in to Bruce Bowe and BruceBowe.com, your real estate channel. Give you all the information, what's going on in North Atlanta. So here today, we're talking about due diligence. What is a due diligence? What's a due diligence period? Why is that? What do I have to have it? Do I do that? I mean, what do I do during the due diligence period? I don't know. Well, we're going to tell you all about that, answer all your questions. Just stay tuned in right here and get your questions answered now. So due diligence is a period when you have to do stuff. So in a contract, like a purchase and sale of a property, the buyer will have typically, not always, but typically will have a short due diligence period that gives them an opportunity to investigate the house, the neighborhood, everything related to the transaction to make sure it is what they think it is. Now, the way it's handled customarily here in Georgia and the way the laws are, during the due diligence period, the buyer can back out for any reason whatsoever. It sounds kind of silly, but you could say, yeah, I don't really like the color of the walls and we're backing out of the transaction. You can do that. And so that's why for the seller, they want to see a very short due diligence period and they want to see the buyer actually taking some concrete steps so it looks like they're trying to buy the house. Remember, they took it off the market just for you. So they've got something at risk here. But some of the things you'll want to do during due diligence period, the biggies are like a home inspection. Get some qualified home inspectors in there to check from the foundation to the roof, make sure everything is solid, checks your plumbing, your electrical, heating and cooling, insulation, foundation. Look for anything that looks like it could be a problem that you wouldn't have known when we toured the house together. So home inspectors is a key item. But there's many other inspections that you may or may not do, depending on what property it is, what type of property. Are you in a condo? Are you on a huge piece of land? It was a piece that used to be commercial in the past. We might want to do an environmental study. Not normally we wouldn't do that, but hey, if there's a dry cleaners there, you're going to want an environmental study. These are some of the things you might not know, and hopefully you got a talented, experienced real estate agent that's going to help guide you through that process. But pest inspection is a big one. Here in Georgia, we've got tons of termites, and so you really want to make sure that it passes the pest inspection and you get yourself a termite bond on the property, because termites, they love it here in Georgia. Other inspections you might do is a radon inspection. The radon gas is more common than you really might think. And if you have any sleeping quarters, particularly in a subterranean basement level, if you have bedrooms in the basement where people are going to spend extended periods of time, it takes a very long time for radon to kind of be a problem, but it does increase the chances of cancer, and hey, we want to rule that out too. So many times people will want to get a radon inspection. If it's an older house, you could get a lead inspection, check for lead paint, things like that. It could be checked for polybutylene pipes, asbestos, all types of things. Generally here, we're looking at mostly newer homes. It's mostly a newer area, and we don't get a whole lot of that kind of stuff. But again, you're going to have to talk to your agent to see what's appropriate and what kind of things could be lurking behind closed doors that you're not aware of that you need to check for. But all that checking needs to be done during due diligence. So besides hiring professionals to do these sorts of things, maybe even a survey, right? Besides hiring people, what are the things that you should be doing during due diligence? Well, you might want to go onto the website and check for the sexual predators, sex offender registry, see if there's any sex offenders in the area. You might want to check crime statistics. You might want to try to drive from that location to where your work is and check the commuting times, or at least check it with an app to see at different times of the day what's the traffic like. You might want to check, area, restaurants, grocery, the distance to the closest hospital or to your doctor, any of that thing that's going to affect your quality of life. Now's the time to find out, because during the due diligence, you could back out for any reason. After the due diligence is up, it's going to be very restricted over what you can back out of the transaction for, and your earnest money could be at risk. We all know about earnest money, right? If you don't know about earnest money, definitely check the video linked below, because you need to know how the earnest money works and how it applies to your transaction and where it goes. If the transaction goes through, doesn't go through, and depending on who's at fault. So during due diligence, knock out all of that stuff. In our competitive market, due diligence times are getting shorter and shorter in order to get offers accepted. So that means that both your agent and yourself need to get right to work during that due diligence period. All right, any questions? Yeah, give me your questions. Let me know. Did you have a nightmare issue during a due diligence? Put that in the comments. Let us know all about it. We'd be interested to hear, and maybe there's something we could answer for you or help out with. We'd love to hear your questions. And if you would be so kind as to give us a thumbs up and subscribe, that would be awesome. Until we see you next time, welcome to the community, and it's brucebow.com. Find your home, sell your home at brucebow.com. Thanks so much.